Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it's official. I am sick. I have been sneezing and sniffling all day long today. And my nose is like running constantly. And I don't think I brought any Kleenex with me. I didn't. Oh, damn it. I woke up late this morning because we slept in today, and my throat, like, as soon as I started coughing, like my throat right here, like not my throat but my like chest really, really hurt. And anyway, I just haven't felt great all day today. I've like been super lethargic and just wanted to stay in bed all day long. But we went to brunch today, and when we pulled up, this couple that we're really good friends with, they were there, and I'm actually going to get a fountain pop with Tanya in an hour because I was like, I've been asleep in bed for like 4 hours straight, and I was like, I've got to get out of the house for a little bit. So I'm sorry for the constant sniffling, but it's 10:57, so she's doing some work stuff, and I said, do you want to get a fountain pop? And she said, yeah. She was like, but how about like right at 12? And I said, that's perfect, because then I can vlog for an hour, and then I can come get you. So I'm gonna vlog for about an hour, and then roll up right to Tanya Jean's. So anyway, we got up today and we went to brunch, and when we were like pulling up, our friends were walking in, so we ate brunch with them. That was really fun. We like closed it down. We were there till like way past like 3 o'clock when they closed. And then we had Sebastian's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, which was really nice. I don't know if I've talked about this on here, but like, so Alex is Sebastian's godfather, or is Carlitos's godfather, and I am Sebastian's godfather. And then Liliana, my sister-in-law, her sisters are the godmothers. She's two sisters. So we had a really good time. I mean, it was at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm actually going to do a Chuck E. Cheese rant because I just think that the place is so hilarious. When I was growing up, I was actually thinking about this, telling stories about my dad, because my dad always jokes about it. It was called Showbiz Pizza back in the day. And I would always want to go there because it's different, like, now than it was then. I don't know, kind of. Now it just, well, it's definitely more organized, I will say that. Like, they do, like, they put all the birthday cakes at the end of the, like, the table, like if you get a table for like a little birthday party. And they put all the birthday cakes at the, it's very sweet, but they put all the birthday cakes at the end of the table. First they bring all the pizzas. And then, back in the day though, Showbiz Pizza was actually pretty good. It was like kind of like thick pizza. I think that we already know from like the Shane Dawson conspiracy theory. If you don't know about the Shane Dawson conspiracy theory, Shane Dawson conspiracy video, that he believed that they pieced their pizza together, that it wasn't actually like one pizza made like all the way around, which I don't know what the truth is, but that if people like brought pieces back, they would like they cut it all up and then they put it together to look like a pizza. It does look like that when you look at it. Like, I took a picture of the pizza today and put it on Twitter. But it's just, I mean, it's totally a place for kids to have fun, but, you know, it's not an adult's place to complain about how loud it is or anything like that, but it's loud and it's screaming, and my nephews were screaming and yelling, and just so excited about every little thing, you know. But anyway, when I was a kid, kids carrying like 10 million tickets around with them so they can buy like a giant comb or something, you know. Or a ball. They all want these balls now, these like spiked balls that you like bounce. That was like the big thing that they all wanted. But when I was a kid, yeah, it was Showbiz Pizza, and I can remember like my dad and I would go there, like on the weekends, like later, you know, like at the time, my dad is so sarcastic and so funny, but he would call it like, he called it divorced dad something. He'd be like, because Showbiz Pizza served beer. And my dad would be like, yeah, I had to have a beer to get me through Showbiz Pizza. But he would be like, you'd look around and it would be like a Saturday afternoon, and all it would be a bunch of divorced dads that had brought their kids to Showbiz Pizza while the ex-wives were out shopping. That's what my dad used to always say. But I think he probably said that when I was like 6 and 8 going to Showbiz Pizza. But they had actual characters that danced on a stage and stuff. And then it turned into like these animatron characters that danced on a stage. The other thing I remember is that like Showbiz Pizza was kind of dark, whereas like Chuck E. Cheese is like really bright and light, you know? And it's more interactive with the kids. Like they do more like interactive stuff with the kids, like with like the birthday package. The woman that we had, she was so funny too. She was like standing next to Alex, and she was like, she was so into her job. She was like so happy to work at Chuck E. Cheese. And so, but like Alex was like in this booth, you know? And so he's sitting there and he's so tired, you know, because like the last 2 days he's just been going. And so she's like standing next to him, and he's on like the outside, and she's like, she just like out of the blue, I don't know, he was like trying to be friendly, and he said something to her, and she goes, guess how old I am? And he has like no interest in it whatsoever, right? And he's like, I don't know. She goes, no, guess, I'm not going away until you guess. And he goes, she kind of reminded me of this character back in the day from like, I can't remember if it was Mad TV or In Living. I think it was, do you remember, okay, there was this skit about, I think it was In Living Color or Mad TV, or no, it was Mad TV, about the girl that did like the door, like the, what do you call it? She was like in charge of the door at like a nightclub in New York City. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And she was like, guess how old I am? And Alex is like, I don't know. And she's like, no, guess, I'm not going away until you guess. And he goes, 19. And she goes, I have a 2-year-old, that's a hint. And he goes, 19. And she just looked at him. And she like, so anyway, this goes on and on and on. And I shouldn't be saying this because I'm going to say this in my rant video too. So she goes, I keep on guessing, and I looked at her and I go, 30. And she goes, and she goes, lower. And Alex goes, 25. And she goes, higher. I mean, this was ridiculous, okay? She's 29. That we're playing this game with a 29-year-old. And she goes, 29, and I have a 2-year-old, and I haven't had a break today, and I'm ready to go home. I was like, okay. I said, well, you seem to really enjoy your job. You seem so happy about it. She goes, people that I went to high school with come through here all the time. They don't understand how much I love my job. She said they say such kind of like not nice things about it or something like that. I can't remember what she said. And then I said, oh, that's not very nice. And then out of the blue, she looked at Alex and she goes, do you like chorizo? Alex was like, what? And she goes, chorizo, do you like chorizo? And he's like, it's okay. And she goes, are you on Facebook? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, we should be friends. It was so weird. It was so weird. It was so weird to say. Oh my God, my husband, he just was like, what is going on here? There were more questions than that, but I can't remember what they were. She was so sweet though. She was so nice. I swear to God, she was like Chuck E. Cheese's best employee they've ever had. Look, I still have my cold coffee from brunch today. So they bring out all the pizzas. It's really nice setup that they do, like honestly. I don't think it's super expensive. so they have like a long table. They had like, there was like, well, all of us family, of course, you know, there's 22 family members. And then, I mean, there really isn't anymore. It was Carlos and Liliana, and then Alex and I, Alex's Tia and her husband Ed, and then Alex's grandma. And then it was like one dad of these two little friends of Carlitos's, and then this couple that Carlos and Liliana are friends, and their son who's like Carlitos's best friend. That was it. And so what was I gonna say? I was like, did I bring my other battery? I think my other battery in here I never charged, so I think it's dead. So that's probably a good thing that I'm gonna end this at an early point, because I don't think it would go real long anyway. But so they bring out all the pizzas, and then everybody sits there and eats pizzas, and they there were like no cups left on the table when I went to go get like a fountain pop. So I got a little sippy, a Chuck E. Cheese sippy cup that looks like this, but not. So anyway, and then what else? Oh my God. Oh, and then they come out, and then they do this, like, birthday dance thing, and then they announce all of the birthdays, and, like, the kids are so young, they don't even really know it's their birthday. And then, I mean, it's the truth, okay? It's basically like, let's put parents through hell for 2 hours, so the kids can run around and scream and just try to get as many tickets as they can. It's all about this ticket thing. And then, which for me back in the day, I just played hours of skee ball because I wasn't really good at anything else except for that Galaga. I loved that Galaga game back in the day. And Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, and Galaga and skee ball. Those were my things back in the day. And then so then they bring out the birthday cake, and it's actually a nice birthday cake, and they put it on the end, and then they but what I didn't realize that they were about to do this. Of course, like, I'm, like, dying, sniffling and sneezing, ready to go home and, like, you know, be in bed because I feel like crap. So, they are, they put all of the cakes at the end of the table. So, I think that for us, there were, like, 2 or 3 birthdays that were, like, right in a row, 3 tables in a row. And so, they, like, do this birthday thing, like on the hour or something, right? And so then they like blow out all the birthday cakes at the same time, and so then they're like, you know, happy birthday, Sebastian, Judy Smith, and Sally Joe, and then they like, everybody blows them out at the same time. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of cracks me up, you know, like, it's just like, let's get them all done at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't know, it just was really funny. I mean, it's not like this was my first experience at Chuck E. Cheese. I've been there several years in a row for birthday parties and other joyous events that we have to go to, where we all just, as adults, sit in a booth and look at each other while the kids are running around. And then I wanted to get Liliana for the kids, from Alex and I, like a year long, like a season or a year pass for she and Carlos and like the kids to the Children's Museum or the zoo. And so I was real excited about doing it because I was like, you know, then she can take the kids to the Children's Museum and the zoo whenever she wants. Well, I didn't want to do it unless I thought they were going to actually use it, because they're both expensive. But I was excited about it. I was like, this is a really cool thing, and like they can really use this and whatever, instead of just getting, you know, like I gotten Sebastian a toy, but this was kind of like, you know, for the whole family and whatever. So anyway, I was talking to her, and she said they used to have a year pass to the zoo, but they didn't use it enough, so they stopped they got rid of it. And she said they have a year pass to the Children's Museum now. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, you save so much money doing it that way. And she was like, but thank you. I was like, oh, well, there goes that idea. And then after that, we came home and I listened to a bunch of the Celestine Prophecy today. I'm down to I'm on chapter 10 and I have less than an hour and a half left. But I listened to it at 2 times speed. So I have less than an hour and a half left. So I'll probably finish that tonight. It's 11:11, make a wish. And then I was actually going through my Audible to see, I don't know if I was supposed to pick up Tanya at the kennel or at her house. I can't remember what she said. I wish I had some Kleenex or something down here. But anyway, I'm quite sniffling. I have a bunch of books. Well, The Secret, I have to also listen to. I didn't realize, this is how stupid I am. I was for some reason, I was thinking that it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is how I think. I was thinking that we only had 4 days left of this week or of this month, and we have 5, so that gives me more days to finish and listen to books. And I'm trying to read so many books. I'm trying to read 8 books a month, which is a lot for me, but I want to try to keep it up as much as possible because I'm really wanting to hit this goal of 100 this year. That's one of my big goals, which I know is stupid, but it is what it is. So I haven't drank a whole lot of water today. I've drank about 3 of these. Well, I guess I drank a bunch of water at brunch, but I was asleep so much of the day that I just felt so drained. What was I gonna say? Oh, but I looked at a bunch of books, because I have a bunch of books that are a couple hours long. The Secret, which would be, so when I finish the Celestine Prophecy, this will be my 5th book for the month, which, I mean, that's good for me that I read 4 or 5 books. And then Mindhunter, I just looked, which is our February true crime book, is 15 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. I know I have these bandanas down here. I have a bunch of these dog bandanas down here, but I don't want to use the one that's pee-pees. I don't want to. It doesn't matter, I guess. Where did the other one go? Oh, here's the lid to my water bottle that I didn't know I had. Oh, well. You guys are just going to have to bear with me being sick today. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, I have a bunch of books. I have those I don't really want to listen to any Christmas books right now, but they're not really Christmas books. There's one that's Finding Noel, Noel's Diary, and all those. Those are all about 4 hours long. But I have a bunch of other books that are rather short too, between 4 and 7 hours. And so I was like, well, maybe after I finish this will be my 5th book, and then The Secret would be my 6th book, which I could probably get that done today or tomorrow or Tuesday. And then if I got one more book done throughout the week, or at least got it started, that would be my 7th book. Well, wait, 5, 6, yeah, 7. So that would be good for the month, if I did that. I've been really enjoying like listening to audiobooks a lot again. And I think like Alex and I, this is totally on a different subject, but I think Alex and I and Sarah are going to try to do like one cultural event a month. I was talking to Alex about it today, and I was like, would you have like any, you know, like we used to do, because he and I used to do these dance things and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, would you have any desire to keep on doing that? Like, we saw the Christmas Carol. Would you like to? He was like, yeah, I think that would be fun. And I said, do you think Sarah would want to do it? You know, because Sarah's got her family here, but she doesn't have, you know, like she's got her friends from high school and whatever. But like, you know, Alex, it's like Tanya and me, you know, and she doesn't have a partner. So I like to include her and stuff because I think it's fun. And I said, do you think that Sarah would want to do that too? And he goes, I don't know, text her. So I texted her and I was like, what did I say? I said, oh, I wish I could read you guys the text. It's so funny. Because I said, because we're like classy AF and we go to a lot of theater, something like that. Because I got online and I just looked up IRT, but I'm sure there's all kinds of, she's always wanted to do beef and boards too, which is like dinner theater. So we'll have to do that one time. But IRT, which is Indianapolis Repertory Theater, they're doing Murder on the Orient Express in March. And so I was like, well, would you want to go? And she was like, yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And she was like, but she said, she's going out of town like for one weekend. She's like a wedding. And I'm like, well, we're going to Ultra in Miami. So, you know, we've all got things to do, gal. We don't have to be constrained to the Murder on the Orient Express. And so, she and I are going to get together. We're going to try to figure out some dates. But then I was thinking like we should like pick like one thing a month. And I think it would be really fun, you know, because Alex and I are always looking forward to trips. But it would be fun if we had things in Indianapolis to look forward to too. You know, like he always loves to go to the Jubilation. I've never been to the Jubilation, but it's to benefit the zoo and it's like a fundraiser. But I do want to go to that Rev thing again. So I don't know how much those tickets are, but we had such a blast at that last year. But I think Jason gets tickets, our friend, like Melissa's husband Jason. I think he gets tickets every year. So we'll have to see. That's in May, and then we'll probably go somewhere for our birthday in June. Yeah, Melissa and Jason are having a Super Bowl party, so we're going there for that. Which I think is next weekend? Yeah, it's next weekend. Oh my God, on time. Ooh, I got 30 seconds until that's gonna end. So, that coffee is like, it's good, but I put like one sweetener in there, and because I'm not used to having a lot of sweetener in my coffee anymore, because I use one of these. I get like a venti coffee, and I put like 1 equal in it. So 1 equal for this is really strong for me. Like I'm not used to it. I know people that put so much cream, and oh my God, when I go to meetings, you should see people. Tanya Jean, she puts so much cream and sugar in her coffee. I'm like, girl, do you want some coffee with your cream and sugar? Because like you have a lot of cream. It stopped. Anyway, she's like, you don't even need to worry about it. I like my coffee like the way that I like my coffee. I just cannot drink coffee with that much cream and sugar and stuff in it. It's so much. Like, somebody sent me a DM or a message or something about how Arby's, which is on the other side of the street. I'm thinking about this because I was driving around listening to my audiobook last night, and Arby's is right over there. And I drove through Arby's because I wanted to see if this was true, because somebody was like, oh, they have a white cheddar mac and cheese at Arby's, like you should review it. And I was like, oh, that would actually make a really good review for my review channel. So I was like, I rolled through there, and it scared me because when you roll through, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't know, it was after I did my vlog, so it was, but it was like, hello and welcome to Arby's. But it sounded like this woman. I should roll through there and show you guys if it's still, but if it's open, I don't want to, I can't tell if it's open or not. But it was like, I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, are they like open? don't know. I was like, like last night, I was like, oh my God, are they open? They do look like they're open, so I don't want to go through there. Yeah, they're open. I don't want to go through there if their drive-thru is open, because then I'll be embarrassed. But anyway, it scared me. It was like, well, now I have to, because I'm going in the forward area. So anyway, they were like, you go through, you'll see if it comes on. If it doesn't, I'll just be like, I'm sorry. You know, I was telling Alex earlier, it's like, I did all this like facial stuff today. And this one, well, first of all, I just want to say that I really feel like, I don't know if you can tell, but like, I feel like my face, like, especially underneath my eyes, I didn't really have like bad bags or anything underneath my eyes anyway, but I really feel like they're clearing up. I really feel like the drinking the water is helping. And I have been doing, every night, I've been doing a nighttime routine with my hydrating face mask and the lip mask and, oh, they just turned everything off. Okay, good. They literally, as I was driving by, they just turned all the lights off, so this will be hilarious. And then the mist spray, the Dewy Mist Spray from Tatcha I use. And then in the morning, I do, like, I have, like, a skincare routine that I do, too. And washing my face and all this kind of stuff. I really feel like it has really been making a difference. But, like, that pore cleanser last night and then followed up with, like, a skin mask, like a face mask, like, it really, like, this face mask, I was like, when I did it last night, I was like, this is junk. It does not work. But I kind of feel like it really did. Okay, now I have to watch. Now, I'm pulling up here, and I'm thinking they're closed, right? Because I'm looking, hold on a second, I'll show you this. In case you really want to see. Because it's right over here, it's a sign, but they have a sign up there, too. Well, you probably can't see it from here. Well, maybe you can if I turn the brights. Can you see, like, they have the white cheddar mac and cheese right there? Do you see? I don't think you can see, but anyway. Dig into cheesy, creamy perfection. It looks so good, in all honesty. So I'm gonna have to review that at some point. Okay. And then it says white mac and cheese dinner. Now watch when I pull up here. I thought they were closed. Okay, it's like late at night when I'm pulling through here.
Thank you for your visit, but we are currently closed. Please visit us again during
They have a mint
normal
chocolate
business
shake,
hours.
too. 890 calories for a medium. Oh my God. 510 calories for the white cheddar mac and cheese. I used to eat Arby's quite a bit back in the day. I know you guys are probably like, Peter, could you please not blow your nose on camera? But no, I don't really have that option right now. Who is texting me? I asked Alex what he wanted instead of his his coat, since we took his coat back. And I got, so he said, today he told me, he's like, I decided I really want to split it between an ASOS gift card and a Zara gift card. So I got online tonight and I got him those because I knew he'd want to like maybe shop late tonight or something. He likes to lay in bed and just look at stuff. And he's already planning his outfits for Ultra and stuff. So anyway, when I put it on there, I said, like, you could put a message. And so at Zara, because he always buys tight jeans from Zara, I said, I love you more than your ass in Zara tight jeans. And then for the message in, for ASOS, I put, I love you more than your ass in those shorty short shorts from ASOS. And he put, got the ASOS card, thanks babe, I love you more than my shorty short ASOS ass shorts too. Okay, here I have to read you this Sarah thing, because this is too funny. I said, hey babe, I was online looking, Hey babe, I was looking online and IRT is doing Murder on the Orient Express in March and wanted to see if you might want to go because we're classy AF and go to theater. Well, we went to one show. Anyway, I had fun doing that. We want to do more of that stuff and we want you to do it with us. So let us know if you want to go. Anyway, we're basically adults now. Is what that means? Oh man. I don't know what other stuff I need to do. I need to get online and just kind of see like what cultural events are in Indianapolis, because I think that would be fun, you know, like to pull it together and to go to those kinds of things. Dance Kaleidoscope was something we used to go to. The Symphony on the Prairie in the summer is supposed to be a lot of fun. I don't know that I've ever done that. I may have done it like way back in the day. So the Symphony on the Prairie is the symphony. So the Indianapolis Symphony, which is like a really well-known symphony, but they play out at Conner Prairie, which is that settlement that I always tell you guys about, that 1800 settlement. And so it's really pretty out there. And so they play, and then they have fireworks at the end of it. But they do really fun shows, like the Beatles, or they'll do like Elvis. And so it's like symphony plays Elvis, or the symphony plays the Beatles, or the symphony does like the soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz, or the symphony does like The Who, or something like that. Or the Rolling Stones, or Bob Dylan. It's just really, it's like fun stuff, right? And so we really, like, when I did that tonic ball thing here in town, I don't think I talked about that on here, didn't I? When we went and did that, it was like 5 different bars, and each bar had like a different cover bands all night long, and it was to raise money. Like, that was so much fun. I need to start doing more stuff like that, you know? It was interesting because in listening to the Celestine Prophecy, it's like one of the things that came out about it for me was like what stands in the way of allowing me to like really enjoy my life. It was so interesting because I just got this question, this Q&A that I did about how do you overcome social anxiety, and I was like, or how have you started to overcome your social anxiety? And I was like, that's a really good question, you know? But the thing is like if you're standing there, if Alex and I are having a conversation and he says, do you want to go to the tonic ball, right? Which was the cover bands, I would say, no, I don't think so, without even knowing what it was. And he would say, come on, it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be like, you know, like 5 different bars, and each bar has like a different cover band theme, which sounds like something that I would love anyway, right? And all of a sudden, all I would think of is the people not feeling like I fit in, not being too old, not knowing anybody, being uncomfortable, okay? And my weight has a huge issue to do with that too, because back when I was like thinner and stuff, I did not care, because I just was like, hey, I'll put on anything, a t-shirt and jeans, and go out and feel cute. I don't feel that way anymore. Like, the heavier I've gotten, I just feel super, super uncomfortable and really like stressed about my weight. Like, I'm constantly like thinking about my weight in regards to going out and doing things. But the more things that I've done, like Rev and like the tonic ball, and I realize I'm getting older and that life is short, which I already knew, and I put all these things together, what I realize is I don't want to miss out on this stuff anymore, you know? Like, there are so many fun things happening, even just in Indianapolis. It's not like we have to travel the world. It's not like, you know, we have to go to 10,000 exciting places. It's just like, you know, I was thinking about this. It's like, just any little thing from like back in the day, like the way that I like got asked to go to Rev, you know, because our friend Courtney, she had a ticket and she wanted somebody to go, and so I went with her. But like, I would have said no back in the day. I would have been like, I'm too fat to wear a suit, I don't want to go, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like missing out, and that was so much fun. I had such a great time that night. I'm not really willing to continue to miss out on life because of my social anxiety, my fear, and my body issues. I'm just not. Like, it's time for Peter to overcome those things in 2020 and to be able to live my life fully and really enjoy my life and really do things in the world, you know. And that whole day that, you know, Sarah and Alex and I went to IRT to see A Christmas Carol was fun. I mean, we went and we ate at Mesh on Mass afterwards, and like they had great vegetarian meals, and it was like everything was really delicious. Oh, so anyway, I want to do more of that. So I want to be in life more. I want to be alive more, if that makes sense. I don't know if that even, like, if that sounds stupid or whatever. I just want to do more with my life, you know? You guys, I had the weirdest thing last night happen. Okay. So, it was right after I got done vlogging, because I was sitting at the gas station. I think I ended the vlog at the gas station last night, didn't I? I was sitting at the gas station, and I was thinking about brunch today for some reason. And I was like, so when we go to brunch, I always get the same thing. I get the California Dreamer, which is, it's a vegetarian omelet. They have vegan omelets there, but it's not a vegan omelet. It's a vegetarian omelet. And it's eggs, cheddar, cheese. It's like 2 kinds or 3 kinds of cheese. And then it's avocados. And then it's like hot peppers. And it's like real spicy. And it's so good. And then I get cinnamon toast and crispy potatoes. But sometimes I don't even get crispy potatoes. And Alex always gets a cup of turkey chili, or a bowl of turkey chili, and like 10,000 croutons, because he loves for croutons there. This car is like dying to get past me, so hold on a second. I think Beef and Boards is around here somewhere. I wish I knew, and then I would like, Lord, if I knew, I would pull up and see where it was, and I would see what is playing. They do church there on Sundays. Like, I've known people that go there. It's called like the Garden or the Grove or something like that. Beef and Boards is a dinner theater place. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway. I literally totally just forgot what I was saying. Oh, so then Alex gets, you know, a bowl or a cup of turkey chili and like a huge bowl or cup of croutons. We both get coffee, because they have a little coffee station where you go get your own coffee. You get it. All right. Do you remember those crotch rockets back in the day, or whatever they're called? That's what that sounds like. And then he gets the Cuban breakfast, which is like rice and eggs, and it has all kinds of stuff in it. He loves it. His grandma always gets it too. And then he puts sriracha all over it, because he loves the sriracha. But I was like, I think I want to get something different. And I was like, oh my Lord, that car. Okay, so are we supposed to take you seriously with that, or what? Okay, but anyway. So, I was like, okay, here's the problem. So when we walk in, they like put like our order, they start making it like when they see us walk in the door. So like within 5 minutes, they hand us our meal, which didn't happen today because we were with our friends. And so they waited until we all sat down to see what they wanted to order too. But I was like, if I was thinking I wanted something different, because I was like, I always get the same thing. I used to get the omelet you can't refuse. And before I was a vegetarian, it has potatoes and bacon and all this kind of stuff in it. And it's so good. And before I was a vegetarian, I would get it just as it comes. But like then after I became a vegetarian, I like got rid of the bacon and I substituted red onions for it. It was so good. But anyway, so I was thinking I wanted to get something different. I was thinking like maybe like an egg salad sandwich, because they supposedly have a really good egg salad sandwich there, and I wanted to kind of read what was in it. And they have like all these salads, and I was like, well, maybe I'll get a salad and a sandwich tomorrow, you know, something different. So I was like reading through there, and I started looking at this menu, and I don't know what it was, you guys. It started with bacon, okay? It started with, like, all of these different things, these different salads. There was, like, a Cobb salad, and then there was, like, this, like, club salad, and all of the salads had bacon bits in it, right? Which is real easy to have taken out of a salad. Like, you just go with no bacon on the side. I mean, I do it all the time, right? But for some reason, I was like, do I really have that big of an issue eating bacon anymore? I mean, it turned into, you guys, I mean, to tell you, like, within probably 30 seconds, I was like, I don't really care if I'm a vegetarian anymore. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I never think about that, you guys. Like, I just am like, I'm a vegetarian, and that's how it is, and that's how I choose to live my life, and, you know, but it was like the weirdest thing. I was like, I just am not gonna be a vegetarian anymore. Like, I was like, you know, and then I was like, a lot of it for me, I was like, well, if I chose tomorrow, this is me being 100% transparent, okay? I was like, if I chose tomorrow to not be a vegetarian, like, I would have so many people online come for me, right? Like, and I just don't want to deal with that. But I was like, but then why are you doing it for that? Like, if that's the reason that you're doing it, then that's a stupid reason anyway, because people ask me all the time, you know, like, why are you a vegetarian? And it's like the story, like, you know, of what happened with me just kind of happened so natural, but like, I don't think about it on a regular basis. Like, I just am, you know what I mean? But I have to tell you, like, me going through this whole thing of, like, me, being a vegetarian, like, I never question it. Like, when I go to look at a menu for a restaurant, like, Alex just sent me this menu, or this new restaurant he wants to try in Miami, and they have a lot of vegetarian things on there. And that's always the first thing that I look at, right? Like, I just don't even think twice about it, really, anymore. And, so, it just was weird. And then I, like, in my head, I was like, could you eat chicken fingers again? I was like, I think I could eat chicken fingers again, but I couldn't do this, and I could do that, but I couldn't do this, and could you eat a cheeseburger? And it was this whole weird thing. And then I just, like, and honest to God, like, I mean, I had been looking at, I was sitting there, and like, this all happened very quickly for me. And I was sitting there, it was almost kind of weird. It was almost kind of like how, like, relapse happens for addicts, I think. Because I was like looking at the menu, and I was just kind of like sitting there, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, could you have chicken fingers again? And I was thinking of myself like dipping a chicken finger like in hot mustard, which is one of my favorite things of life back in the day, and biting into it. And I was like, could you consciously like eat that and not think of like the living animal counterpart? And it was really weird, you guys. This all happened, I mean, to tell you, within like a minute in my head. And I was like, no, I couldn't. Like, not today, at least. I couldn't. I don't know down the road, but today, I couldn't do that. It just was the weirdest thing. And then, like, you know, it was over. It was like I had gone through this whole thing in my head of like, why are you a vegetarian and whatever, you know? Which was so weird, too, because I had just, like, in reading this book, they talk a lot about vegetarianism in there. I think I just mentioned that last night. They talk a lot about, like, you know, being more connected to the universe, because if you're eating fruits and vegetables and you're more connected to the universe and, you know, whatever. And I had just, like, looked up this article earlier in the day, too, on, like, health benefits of vegetarianism, which there are a lot of health benefits of vegetarianism. So even if you're not a healthy vegetarian, if you're eating less meat, supposedly, okay, supposedly, I know everybody's going to come to me with their studies and all that kind of stuff. But supposedly if you live a more plant-based diet, even if it's not super healthy, but if you are eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, it's supposed to be really healthy for you. It's supposed to fight, like, keep you from getting heart disease and certain kinds of cancers and type 2 diabetes and things like that. So, and there are other things that it's supposed to help with too, you know, and like not getting sick because you wear Birkenstocks all the time because you're a flaky hippie type. No, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. It's just so weird, you know? It was so weird that I'm like, I guess in that moment, like, I kind of was like, I don't know. Like, it just, you know, like, nothing that I do like, nothing that, I don't know. It was weird because, like, in one moment, like, it literally went like this. In one moment, I was like, it kind of upped it for me a little bit. Like, because when I got back to, like, within that minute or two of being like, yeah, like, I am a vegetarian, I don't think I could do that. I mean, I really consciously thought of myself, like, biting into a chicken finger, and I was like, Yeah, I don't know that I could do that today. I really don't, you know? A cheeseburger, because I've been eating the Impossible Burgers, I think I probably could. A steak, I think would be too meaty for me. I just don't know that I could go back to doing that. And I think the other option is, why would I when I don't have to? Like, that's the other thing too, you know? Like, why would I? Like, at this point, like, am I dying that hard for, it's, you know, like, a lot of people ask me, like, well, what if your addiction was really just in your youth and you... So anyway, no, I am a vegetarian. I am continuing forward with being a vegetarian. It was just like this weird thing that happened in my head for like a minute and a half. I was like, I mean, I literally in that like 30 seconds to a minute and a half was like, I'm done. I'm not being a vegetarian anymore. And then like I kind of came full circle once I sat through it and thought about it and was like, I can't imagine doing that. So yeah. But anyway, I think it means more to me than I actually realize that it does. You know what I mean? Like, I really do. I think on a personal level, because I'm not, like, I don't talk about it a lot. I don't, like, preach about it to my friends. I'm not like, you should be, I don't think I have one friend in real life. Well, my friend in Denver, we just actually talk. I don't think I have one friend in real life who's a vegetarian. Well, that's not true. I have one friend who's a vegetarian. She's been a vegetarian for like 30 years. Do I have anybody else? I feel like I do. Is this car coming up here again? Oh my God. If this car like pulled in somewhere and now it's coming up alongside me again. That loud car. Oh, it's not that loud car, but I was like, that would be so funny if it was. But you know, it's almost kind of like what happens with like the tape in your head for addiction, you know? But here's the thing that's weird about it, is that, so, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, well, you used when you were young, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, you started drinking when you were 12, and I was like, like heavily drinking though when I was 12, like I want to make that clear. It wasn't just like, I drank one time when I was 12, I mean, I was in my room drinking by myself. I mean, but let's put that picture into perspective, okay, like that's important when we want to talk about, okay, maybe it was just when you were young. I was in my room drinking like an adult alcoholic, watching movies when I was 12 years old. That's disturbing, okay? And nobody knew that I was doing it. So, because I was that good at hiding it that nobody knew that I was doing it. So then and then they're like, well, maybe you're not an alcoholic or an addict because you got sober at 22. I have thought a lot about that through the years. It stopped, it did not beep. But I was talking about, you know, like getting sober young, and people are always like, well, maybe you're not an alcoholic or an addict. I don't know where it stopped. So, and you know, I have a lot of friends of mine that got sober young, and a couple of my friends that got sober young have gone back out after double-digit years of sobriety. And I think what happens is you ask yourself, like, well, maybe I'm not an alcoholic or an addict, you know? I got sober at 22 and a half. Like, I'm 47. It's been 25 years. Who knows? Maybe I could have a glass of wine with my husband. Maybe I could have a, you know, margarita on the beach, or a Corona, or a, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the beer he drinks, some Medullas or Medullas or whatever. That's not what it's called. I don't know what it's called. But you know what I mean? Maybe I could. You know, maybe I could have a whiskey at a whiskey bar and just go home and that be it. Maybe I could, but I will tell you what it immediately goes to, okay? Which is interesting for me. Well, first of all, my first thought is always, after 25 years, okay? The tape of me starting to drink and then where that ends up with me losing everything in my life. That tape that when I first got sober, it took me like a half an hour in my head to run. It runs that quick, okay? From me thinking about having a drink to stopping to knowing where it's gonna end up, it's that quick. I mean, in all honesty, it really is, okay? But the number one thing I always think of is this. is a chance of having a glass of wine with my husband, because I'm telling you, I am all in with addiction. So if I was to start using again, I really don't believe it would be a glass of wine or a beer, okay? I believe that like within a couple days, I'd be like, well, I've never taken a Xanax, so I want to know what a Xanax is like. You know, like, oh, well, you know, like all these people, I mean, it would be bad, you guys. I mean, it would be bad. I was all in. So all these things that I haven't tried, I'd be like, well, you effed it up now. You screwed it up now, so you might as well go full throttle, because Alex is gone, your family's pissed at you, it's just you, and your mom's dead. I'd start using that as an excuse and being like, there's nobody that cares about me anymore. I know how my addict mind would think, right? I even just did it here and I haven't even picked up. So I know that's where I would go, right? It's just me in this condo, you know, I'm not doing YouTube no more, F all that. You know what I mean? I mean, it would be ugly, right? So I don't want to drink to have a beer on the beach, okay? And this is how I know it. As soon as I start thinking about it, right? I think to myself, like when I said the whiskey in the bar, because I was a Jack Daniels drinker, right? It isn't the whiskey in the bar, okay, that is the thought that sounds good, like sitting there and having like some high-end whiskey. It's about the buzz that I'm feeling in my head as I'm leaving the bar. Like, that's honest to God what I think of that's alluring to me. And then like kind of stumbling around winter snowy streets, you know, in Chicago or something. See me romancing it? 25 years as an alcoholic, okay? I'm sober and I'm still romancing it. You know, stumbling around the streets of Chicago in like an overcoat and like going into some other bar and having a couple whiskeys there and then falling asleep in some hotel that I'm... What am I doing? Okay? So no, I can't drink like a normal person. I just can't, because I'm gonna romance the F out of it, okay, all day long. The other thing I know is this. Everything that I have in my life is as a result of my sobriety, hands down, okay? And two people that were here that would tell you that today are my dad and my stepmom. They would say that. If you look at Peter's life, everything that he has is a direct result of his sobriety from 25 years ago, okay? So if to me, the chance of possibly not being an alcoholic and trying a glass of wine is that important to me, because I really want to have, because this came up in marriage counseling with my husband and I. You know, he would say, we talked about the drinking, because people always say, like, is the drinking hard for you? And his drinking isn't really hard for me. What has been hard in, you know, 12 years almost of being together is that, and I said this to him one day, I said, you think I wouldn't like to get my buzz on with my husband? You think I wouldn't like to get drunk and have drunk sex with my husband? I've never had the opportunity to do that, you know? You think I wouldn't like to go out and just not think about anything with my husband and Uber at home? I mean, no, I've never had that opportunity. So yeah, I am a little bit, like, as an alcoholic and an addict, jealous of that, right? But that's not a necessity. And he had never thought of it that way. He was like, oh my God. He was like, I had never, because, you know, we had talked about the drinking when we first got together, but he was like, I had never thought of it that. I totally get that, you know? And, so anyway, but like, here's the truth, like the truth, okay? I really think sometimes about, like, not often, I'm not one of those alcoholics that, like, thinks about alcohol on a regular basis. I'm really not. But when I do, I'll think about, like, it would be nice to be able to have, like, a glass of wine with my husband at dinner, right? But if a glass of wine, or like sit on the back patio in the summer and like split a bottle of wine, I was never, listen, the only reason I drank wine was because it was cheap. And my old roommate and I, we used to drink those boxes of wine where we take the silver bag out of it with the tap on it, or the gallon of wine. We were nobody's wine drinkers because we were bougie. We drank wine because it was cheap. So why I have this dream of sitting on the patio with my husband when I can have a Diet Coke with my husband and have a perfectly fine conversation on the back porch, and have done it many times. But I think to myself, you know, it'd be kind of fun in the summer to, like, you know, have a couple beers on the back porch, or like, you know, have a bottle of wine, like when I'm making the porch nice. I think about that, right? But if that is so important to me, here's the truth, okay? Like, the truth for alcoholics and addicts. If me chancing the possibility that I might not be an alcoholic just so I can have that glass of wine or that bottle of wine or whatever on the patio, that experience is more important to me than my 25 years of sobriety, then isn't the reality I'm probably an alcoholic? I mean, let's just be for real, okay? Normal people don't take risks like that. Normal people don't go. I mean, if you really don't care about a glass of wine or a backyard experience with a bottle of wine, if a bottle of wine or a glass of wine doesn't mean anything to you because you're not an alcoholic, then you probably could go with that experience without having to test whether or not you're gonna lose 25 years of your life, because I'm gonna lose 25 years of my life. In all honesty, I really am. I mean, I'm not gonna lose the experiences and the memories and the stuff that I had, but I'm gonna be right back to where I was. I've seen it happen to my friends. I've seen them go right back to where they were before, and it devastates me. It makes me so sad, you know? So the reality is no. A glass of wine is not that important to me today. And the day that a glass of wine or a beer or a joint or a pill or anything becomes more important to me than everything I have in my life, then I need to really take a look at that and go, this is why you're an addict. This is why you're an alcoholic. Because this pill, this joint, this edible, this glass of wine, this beer, whatever, this one thing, this is where it's gonna start and it's gonna end up being a million, is more important to you than everything that you have in your life right now. And I have to remember that. Like, I have to remember that on a daily basis, right? Because you can get up into that trap, and the vegetarian thing felt almost like, it was like almost the exact same thing, right? Except to a different degree, that the vegetarianism thing isn't like life or death to me today. But if it was, that's scary. And I really feel like that's kind of like my addict mind thinking in the same way towards that, you know? That I was like willing to give up something so quickly that I had worked so hard for. You know, a lot of people are like, well, eat a steak and then start again tomorrow. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? Like, I've made a committed effort to being a vegetarian for coming up on, it'll be 3 years this summer, you know, so 2.5 years. It's something I'm proud of today. I don't want to just give that away. You know what I mean? And if I do give that away, I want to really think it through. It's just like if I went back out and tried to drink again, I guess I would like control drinking to see if I could really drink. I don't know, it's scary though. It's scary to think that that much of, you know, my life is dictated by my addiction from 25 years ago, you know what I mean? But I'm thankful that at least I know that about myself today, because I don't think I did back in the day, you know, I don't think I knew. This is, I mean, I know I didn't know. I will tell you this, in early sobriety, people ask me a lot how I got through like the first 6 months. You know, I didn't put myself in that situation. I didn't put myself around my old friends. You know, they say change people, places, and things. I didn't put myself around my old friends. I didn't put myself around, I didn't go out to bars when I first got sober. I didn't do the same things I did before, right? So I didn't really have the temptations of all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have those temptations of like being in a bar and everybody being like, let's do shots. Like, I don't know what that really would have been like. Although I had tried to do it before, because that wasn't my first attempt. It was like my 5th, you know? So I had different attempts where there's just bad situations where I can remember, like, you know, trying before to quit drinking and being like really serious about it to some degree, and then being like, you know, I'm really serious about this, I'm gonna do this, and then like being like in an environment, not even necessarily a bar, but just an environment where it was like, okay, well, I could do it this one time, or I'm not gonna drink, and then come on, you can have a beer and whatever, you know? I don't know. I just know I'm thankful for being here today, and I'm thankful for my life and my meditation today. Oh, Kobe Bryant. Was that not so sad, you guys? So sad. And his daughter and the other people that were on the plane. We were at brunch, and our waitress, who we're really good friends with, came up and told us it, like, literally it just hit the news. I was like, oh my God, how tragic. So sad. So sad. But it was weird, you know, like, I read this meditation today in my daily book of positive quotations. I didn't do a Peterisms video today because I had filmed it from last night. But I read this meditation, and it was like, you know, whatever you're going through today, be thankful. Like, if you got up late, be thankful you got up late. You know, if you're, and I'm sick, right? And so at the end of it, it said, if you're sick, be thankful that you didn't die. And, you know, if someone in your life died, you know, be thankful that you had time with it. It was just like, it was such a perfect, like, with everything that happened today and how I was feeling, and just like the stuff with the news, it was so sad, wasn't it? You know, and I think, I don't know, like, I think when those things happen, we need to stop and take a moment to really just stop. You know, and I always think about that, you know, that, like, God, life could be over like that. The book that I'm listening to is so about living your life from a point full of love, and that love is an energy. And once you begin to live from this energy source of love, then you can't see past that anymore. It's like your life is full of love all the time, and you see the beauty in things, and you see the enjoyment in things. And, like, that's where I want to get. Like, that is one of my biggest goals in 2020, you know, is just to see things from a point of love and beauty and appreciation and kindness and compassion, and that to be action for me as well, and then gratitude on a daily basis, because I am so blessed to have an amazing life. I have an amazing life. I have a house, I have a roof over my head, I have food every day to eat, I have a husband that loves me, I have, some days, right? I have dogs that love me, you know, and, even with the sadness with PP, it's like, I got 14 great years with him, you know, well, 12 great years with him almost, and, 2 years longer than I thought we were going to get, because of the medicine and the vet and stuff, and great family, and, you know, I get to make videos every day, and I have you guys out there that watch my videos, and it's just, I get to read amazing books and watch great shows, and meet some of you out there, you know, and interchange messages with you guys, and get to know things about, I don't know, I just have a really cool life. I have a really amazing life, you know. I used to always say this because my old sponsor used to always say that he had a life beyond his wildest dreams, which always reminded me of that Moody Blues song. I don't know why, but anyway, that one Moody Blues song. You know what I'm talking about. But I do. Like, I do have a life beyond my wildest dreams. But other than that, I just feel really blessed. I feel really blessed to have the life that I have. So. All right, it is 11:59, and I'm supposed to be at Tanya Jean's in 1 minute, so I'm going to get off here now. And so that went almost perfect. I'm like getting ready to pull up just at the right time. Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something really, really fun and exciting today. And do something that will profoundly change the course of your life. If you still, or something that when you look back on will make you happy and proud that you did it. If you still want to read the Celestine Prophecy, you still have time. You could always read it. And The Secret. Those are the January books for the Peterisms channel. And the True Crime Book Club is 2 weeks from today. And that is for If You Tell by Greg Olson. The February book is Mindhunter by John Douglas. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, and you do your daily affirmations, and you say, I love you, you are valuable, you are important, you matter. Good things are coming to you today, and this is going to be the best year of your life, and you're going to accomplish all of your dreams. And don't forget to be grateful. Say that to yourself. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how much they mean to you and how important they are to you. We should do that each and every day. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I stopped before. Bye. Love ya.